Hi, this is Adam Goldberg, Chief Innovation Officer and co-founder at Clear Sailing. Recently we conducted the Attribution Management Forum where we polled leading online marketers about various attribution management scenarios in an effort to provide answers for best practices and methodologies in online advertising. We've created 5 categories across various online advertising sources that were discussed during the forum. This is the 3rd video in the series and discusses the lifetime value of a banner impression. In this purchase path that we're showing, a banner ad was seen on Monday. Then on Tuesday, the consumer did a search, clicked on the company's corresponding sponsored link, and then made a purchase. The following are 2 different attribution rules to discover which model is most beneficial to the situation. If you choose to vote for Attribution Rule A, you do not believe a banner impression lasts in a consumer's mind for a period of 1 day, and therefore the entire sale should be attributed to the search that preceded the conversion. In Attribution Rule B, if you vote for this rule, you believe that the banner impression is responsible for triggering the search and therefore deserves some percentage of the sale. The exact split between the search and banner is not clear, but you do believe they both deserve some form of credit. When we look at the results that are segmented by the business type, we find that a strong majority feel that the banner impression is still relevant after 1 day and therefore deserves to share in the credit for this sale. When the results are sorted by those with the experience level, the findings are also very similar. Over 80% of all groups felt that the banner impression contributed to sale after just 1 day. The second scenario asks the question, is the shelf life of the banner impression 10 days? In this purchase path, the consumer sees the banner impression, then 10 days goes by, and then they do a search, click on a sponsored link, and make a conversion. When we look at the attribution rules, if you choose to vote for Attribution Rule A, you do not believe a banner impression lasts in a consumer's mind for 10 days, and therefore the entire sale should be attributed to the search that directly preceded the conversion. If you choose to vote for Attribution Rule B, you do believe the banner impression had some influence on the consumer's mind. The search term also deserves some portion of the credit for the conversion. It is therefore concluded that a banner can influence a consumer 10 days after being seen. Now when we take a look at the scenario results, we can see here that the results become a little more divided. When 10 days elapses between the banner impression and the actual sale, more people, especially in the B2B and B2C segments, begin to think the banner impression deserves no credit for the sale whatsoever. When we look at the results in terms of experience level, the majority that have tracking technology that believe it works well still believe the banner impression and the search term are responsible for the sale. Those that are less experienced do not believe a banner after 10 days has any influence whatsoever. In the third scenario, the question is the shelf life of a banner impression 30 days? In this purchase path, the consumer sees the banner impression, then 30 days goes by, and they do a search and click on the sponsored link, and then make a conversion. When we look at the attribution rules, if you choose to vote for Attribution Rule A, you do not believe a banner impression lasts in a consumer's mind for 30 days, and therefore the entire sale should be attributed to the search that preceded the conversion. If you choose to vote for B, you believe that the banner impression had some influence in the consumer's mind. The search term also deserves a portion of the credit for the conversion. It is therefore concluded that a banner can influence a consumer 30 days after being seen. Now when we look at the scenario results, after a 30-day time elapse in the banner impression and the actual sale, many more people find the banner impression to be less crucial to the sale. Of all the industry results, a little over 60% feel that the banner impression is completely irrelevant and should not be credited for the sale whatsoever. However, when we look at the experience levels, those with the most attribution experience consider the banner impression to still be influential in the sale despite the 30 days that elapsed. 60% still felt the banner impression should get a certain percentage of the credit for the sale. Finally, the audience was asked, what is the shelf life of a banner impression, to gauge what they felt was the appropriate shelf life of a banner impression. They were asked to respond in either hours or days. As you can see, there was a discrepancy between the different business types. On the agency side, the average response was almost 20 days. The B2B and B2C sectors were considerably shorter, at 10 and 15 days, respectively. When we looked at experience levels, those with the highest experience felt the banner impression lasted the longest, at 35 days. We'd be very curious to understand why that is. One thought could be that the experienced group either knows more than the rest of us, or perhaps they are bigger fans of banners and tend to recommend them to their clients. So in closing, if you missed the first 2 attribution videos, they are available for viewing on YouTube. They cover the paid search environment and lifetime ad value. For more information about these scenarios on attribution management, please visit attributionmanagement.com and be sure to look for Clear Sailing on Facebook and Twitter. Thank you for your time. I am Adam Goldberg, co-founder and chief innovation officer at Clear Sailing.